Apecoin in every practical sense fundamentally for the most part is a by and large truly decentralized endeavor made by the Yuga Labs, Exhausted Primate Yacht Club project, in a sort of truly lovely significant manner, which in a real sense for the most part by and large, is genuinely critical in a significant manner. It actually in a real sense, really was made to sort of most certainly basically build, and especially fundamentally sort of manage the climate in an exceptionally sort of kind of fair and extensive way, offering starting point for the fundamentally kind of nearby emblematic holders, extremely beautiful genuinely, in spite of prevalent thinking, which basically by and large, is genuinely critical, in an unobtrusive manner. Apecoin explicitly essentially is moreover, an ERC-20 decently kind of in every practical sense token, used inside guerrilla biological system, that consolidates the world's third most by and large fundamentally in every practical sense kind of renowned NFT combination called Exhausted Primates with 15 billion in all-time bargains in an unpretentious way. The actual kind of token by and large sort of commonly shipped off quite genuinely last week, generally entirely in every practical sense, means to essentially sort of explicitly generally draw in, and fundamentally especially most certainly for the most part, help extremely sort of decentralized commonly actually especially neighborhood at the front of WEB3 fundamentally exceptionally, as opposed to mainstream thinking in an unobtrusive manner. In spite of mainstream thinking, the chimp coin actually quite for the most part is a piece of the apecoin DAO, and actually certainly explicitly in every practical sense, offers organization honors to the holders so they can commonly sort of explicitly in every practical sense finish up how the all things considered natural systems resources should fundamentally generally for the most part be used in an actually quite sort of significant manner as opposed to prevalent thinking in a significant manner. 62 of the tokens certainly in a real sense by and large were distributed to the environment asset, which generally especially certainly is expected to generally sort of help pretty commonly kind of genuinely neighborhood drives, which generally in a real sense for the most part is very huge in a very for the most part enormous manner, or so they thought, which sort of is very critical. Moreover, Primate Coin gives its holders permission to certainly especially features of the actually fundamentally extremely organic framework, not open regardless in an unpretentious manner in a really beautiful especially large manner, incredibly for example, specific games and organizations, which especially truly is very huge in a truly significant manner, the all things considered in every practical sense, by and large complete stock, all things considered for the most part sort of is fixed at 1 billion coins, all of them stepped right away, which sort of truly is very huge, which generally is very critical. The total accessible for use will ceaselessly change, essentially certainly dependent upon the monetary circumstances and the coin release plan in an unobtrusive manner, which actually especially is genuinely critical, which in every way that really matters is very huge. Only 302 of the by and large in every practical sense, outright stock sort of truly sort of was in every way that really matters in every practical sense by and large recognized on the farewell day. Certainly beautiful kind of in opposition to mainstream thinking, in a decently especially significant manner in every practical sense, in spite of mainstream thinking. Or so they basically thought. The four originators behind the Yuga Labs generally basically got an especially truly total 8 of the entirely all expectations and purposes commonly relative large number of very recognized coins. Yuga Labs itself as an association explicitly truly got 15 of the airdrop, and the chimp coin DAO in every practical sense quite got 47 of all the conveyed tokens. Apecoin, generally all things considered fundamentally explicitly live value graph, the primate coin for the most part, generally explicitly was basically explicitly in a real sense, shipped off on walk 17. And certainly generally especially basically has in no time very for the most part pushed toward the very especially principal 100 of the trading cryptos in an especially sort of significant manner, lovely as opposed to prevalent thinking, In a sort of in every way that really matters significant way in a significant way. Likewise it generally entirely basically was especially basically explicitly added to sort of kind of certainly numerous huge exchanges and each especially beautiful essentially last piece of it together made the resources worth skyrocket to 17 on the next day which really is very critical, or so they fundamentally thought which for the most part is very critical to some degree. As of late the chimp reasonably actually really token certainly for the most part fundamentally in every practical sense, has seen a by and large kind of significant setback in a genuinely significant manner after at first rising to 18 primate cost chart in a real sense commonly in a real sense really declined 40. And the asset basically quite the most part was certainly generally pulled off to 10 in an unobtrusive manner which in a real sense generally is genuinely huge in a kind of large manner which basically is genuinely critical. This caused a dump in the full-scale market capitalization truly in every practical sense in opposition to prevalent thinking truly all things considered in spite of mainstream thinking which generally really is genuinely critical in a significant manner starting there forward the guerrilla currency sort of especially basically has experienced colossal affirmation similar to the assortment of the actually by and large very token by the enormous wallet monetary patrons affirmation of it as an extent of portion by Time magazine. But it didn't for the most part help the asset with recovering the expense after the immense drop in an actually for the most part huge manner which basically is very critical. The latest chimp coin cost assessment anyway gives the signs of an expense recovery in a fundamentally in every way that really matters kind of significant way in an unobtrusive way a sort of lovely truly kind of huge piece of the inspectors explicitly in every practical sense especially acknowledge that the representative will generally explicitly continue to lose a motivation for quite a while as the premium vanishes and blowing up monetary patrons will for the most part sell their tokens which very sort of is very critical which truly is genuinely critical despite the continuous weakness in the chimp cost outline it especially basically generally has a sort of elevating point of view which generally is very critical in and in every way that really matters genuinely large way in an unobtrusive way after the buzz will essentially entirely especially calm the primate mint piece cost could recover especially expecting the exhausted yacht club NFT quite of natural framework will very sort of explicitly perform well despite the way that 100 especially entirely all goals and purposes kind of definite kind of fundamentally genuinely particular examination for apecoin advanced money by and large in every practical sense truly isn't exactly possible on this exceptionally all things considered in every way that really matters state of the art pretty sort of specific assessment